Chosen one. Receive this truth with an open heart. Your presence at this moment is no coincidence. The Lord Himself has directed your path, leading you to these very words, according to His perfect purpose. Nothing about this encounter is accidental. This is a holy appointment. A divine intersection where heaven meets your journey at exactly the right time. The Spirit of God is declaring that you have arrived at the doorway of extraordinary provision. A financial release unlike anything you've known is being prepared, one powerful enough to quiet every fear and remove every trace of lack. Beloved, every restless night, every silent cry, every burden you carried without anyone noticing has led you to this place. Not so you would be defeated, but so you could step into a brand new season. Your season of waiting has never been meaningless. Every hardship has served a purpose beyond what you could see. Today, heaven announces that your provision has been authorized, your resources have been released, and your future rests securely in the hands of the Creator of heaven and earth. As Philippians 4:19 declares, "My God will supply all your needs according to His riches in glory in Christ Jesus." This promise is not locked away in some distant tomorrow. It is alive in this very moment. Chosen one. Receive it deeply. The season of dryness is coming to an end, and the storehouses of heaven are beginning to open over your life. You are no longer meant to survive by human strength alone. You are entering a life sustained by divine abundance. This marks the beginning of a season where heaven's provision surrounds every step you take. Chosen one. Listen carefully with your spirit. Not a single moment of your suffering has been without purpose. Every evening you questioned whether you could keep moving forward. Every unseen tear, every anxious thought that weighed upon your heart while you struggled to remain faithful. Each one was shaping something far greater than you realized. You believed everything was falling apart, but God was quietly constructing something stronger within you. What appeared to be the end was, in reality, preparation for a remarkable new beginning. Now the appointed hour has arrived. The chapter ahead will no longer depend on endless striving or exhausting yourself trying to prove your worth. It will not be built upon relentless labor or constant pressure. That season has reached its conclusion. A new way of living has begun. One established by God's faithfulness rather than your own strength. A supernatural shift has begun. You are moving out of the survival cycle and into overflow. Chosen one. Heaven is showing through your life what it looks like when God Himself becomes the financier of your destiny. God is not giving you scraps. He is releasing abundance. He is not simply covering today's bills. He is establishing your tomorrow. He is funding your vision, your health, your joy, your peace, your whole journey. Think about it. Doors once slammed shut in your face. Opportunities vanished before you could grab them. Bills piled high like mountains, blocking your peace. And yet, you survived. That survival was proof that you were never abandoned. It was heaven sustaining you until now. And today, the Spirit whispers over you, no more lack, no more fear, no more desperation. Chosen one. Hear this. What I'm speaking is not casual encouragement. It is activation. This is your confirmation that heaven has already moved in your favor. So, take a step of faith. Write your warmest wishes in the comments. Type the number 99. Not as chance, but as prophetic agreement that you are aligned with heaven's release. When the chosen unite in faith, heaven responds in power. This moment is a holy invitation. Dream again. What vision did you bury because it felt too impossible? What desire did you silence because it seemed too risky? Bring it back. Speak it out loud. Claim it boldly. Scripture reminds us that life and death are in the power of the tongue. When you speak in faith, the atmosphere bends to meet your words. Pause here and align yourself. Like this video, subscribe if you haven't already. Share your agreement. Why? Because every act of engagement becomes an act of faith. It increases your alignment with this word. We are setting the frequency of heaven together, amplifying the sound of abundance being released over you. Chosen one. This is not about temporary assistance. This is a divine takeover. The days of barely scraping by are behind you. The days of wondering how you'll make it to the end of the month are over. God is not giving you crumbs. He is releasing overflow. Overflow that doesn't just patch leaks, but rebuilds your whole foundation. Overflow that allows you to walk tall with joy in your heart and resources chasing after you. Yes, money is coming. Yes, open doors are coming. Yes, divine solutions are coming. But more precious than all of that, rest is coming. A holy rest that doesn't make sense in natural logic. Others will look at you and ask, how are they so calm? The answer is simple. It's not natural. It's supernatural. You've carried yourself by effort long enough. Now divine funding is taking over and your life is shifting into the flow of God's abundance. Chosen one. Let me tell you what begins to happen when divine funding enters your life. Ideas that once felt small or impossible begin to carry a different weight. They no longer look like scribbles on paper. They glow with heaven's backing. Suddenly, resources start appearing. The right people begin crossing your path. Mentors, supporters, and investors who recognize the oil on your life. These are not random encounters. They are divine connections sent to help unlock what God placed inside of you. You must understand. This is more than financial blessing. It is assignment. God does not simply release provision for comfort. He releases provision for purpose. He is not funding you just to pay off a bill. He is funding you to step into your destiny, to create, to build, and to influence. Your calling is too urgent to be delayed any longer. Heaven has already authorized the release. Think back to the dreams you set aside. Maybe you wrote them down years ago and tucked them away thinking they were unrealistic. They were not fantasy. They were blueprints. God planted them in you for an appointed time. And that time is now. The resources that match those blueprints are being released. Your waiting was never wasted. Delay was not denial. It was divine preparation. Every season you felt stuck was not wasted. Every detour was not punishment. It was redirection. Every blocked path was God steering you into alignment. And now, the very energy that felt locked is being released like a river breaking free. Chosen one. Can you sense it? The floodgates are opening. Heaven's provision is not bound to banks or systems. While the world depends on fragile structures, you are tapped into a source that never runs dry. This is why you cannot measure yourself against others. People may have overlooked you, doubted you, even dismissed your worth, but God never needed their approval. He already had the plan set in motion. When His timing arrives, nothing, no rejection, no scarcity, no past mistake can stop what He ordained. Grace is rewriting your financial story even now. This is not about striving or proving yourself worthy. It is about receiving. You are chosen to walk in divine ease, to be a living example of supernatural flow. What does that look like? It looks like unexpected breakthroughs. It looks like doors opening without you knocking. It looks like people blessing you out of nowhere. It looks like rest in the middle of storms. When God funds your life, worry loses its grip. From this point forward, you will not spend all your energy on survival. You will thrive, create, and pour into others. This is not temporary. It is continual. Each new day renews the flow. You will wake up to find provision waiting. Each step you take will meet favor already prepared. Every move forward will reveal resources aligned with your path. Chosen one, don't shrink back now. Don't let thoughts of why me or what if it doesn't last rob you of this moment. This is not luck. This is not coincidence. This is divine order. You were built for this, called for this, chosen for this. Provision is flowing because it was always yours. Lift your head high. Walk with boldness. Make plans again. Dream courageously. Your funding has already been approved in heaven, and the release has already begun. Chosen one. Let's go deeper into this truth. When God decides to fund your life, the shift is undeniable. What was once delayed suddenly accelerates. What was held back begins to arrive without warning. The doors that seemed permanently locked begin to swing wide open. And here is the mystery. None of it is by your effort. It is the divine flow moving on your behalf. You've carried burdens long enough. You've lived with the pressure of wondering if there would be enough. But now, you are entering into a chapter where heaven declares, enough struggle. This is your season of overflow. And this overflow isn't just for survival. It is for legacy. God is not giving you just enough to get by. He is releasing more than enough so you can rise. Give, build, and bless. Chosen one. Think about what that means for your daily life. No longer will you wake up with panic about bills. No longer will you spend nights calculating whether your resources will stretch. Instead, you will experience a steady flow of provision. Unexpected credits. Debts dissolving. Contracts signed with ease. Promotions that bypass logic. These are not coincidences. They are messages from heaven confirming, I am with you, I am covering you, I am funding your mission. And it's not only about money. Divine funding includes wisdom, strategy, and clarity. Ideas that once felt confusing will suddenly make sense. Paths that seemed foggy will clear. Relationships that drained you will fall away. And new alliances will arrive to help you build papajuice.com. God funds not only your wallet, but also your purpose, your strength, your peace. That is why you will notice every part of your life shifting, your thoughts, your energy, even the atmosphere around you. Chosen one. Don't be surprised when people around you start asking questions. They will see the difference. They'll wonder, how did everything change so quickly? Some may even whisper, it doesn't make sense. And they'll be right. It doesn't make sense to the natural mind because this isn't natural. It's supernatural. You will know deep in your spirit that it wasn't you who made it happen. It was heaven's decree. This is why you must stay expectant, open, and aligned. A funded life is not a one-time blessing. It is a lifestyle. Every step you take is covered. Every move forward is supported. Every dream you dare to voice is backed by the Creator. Don't shrink back into old patterns of fear. Don't let worry trick you into thinking this will fade. You are chosen, and because of that, your provision is sustained by grace. What you used to chase is now commanded to come to you. The nights of crying yourself to sleep are behind you. The days of scrambling to figure everything out are over. You have entered a reality where abundance meets you, not by force, but by alignment. You are more than enough. And the one who chose you is more than capable of sustaining every promise spoken over your life. Chosen one. Lift your head. Walk with confidence. Speak with boldness. Make plans again. Dream with courage again, because the divine transaction has already begun, and you are living in the flow of supernatural funding. Chosen one. Listen carefully. What you are stepping into now is not fragile, and it is not temporary. This shift is not a short burst of blessing that fades away with time. It is a holy reroute, a permanent redirection of your life into supernatural flow. You are entering the stage where your identity as God's chosen one becomes the access pass to unlimited provision. There will be no more striving, no more begging, no more chasing after what you already carry. You are learning the language of trust. And it sounds like peace. You are learning the rhythm of grace. And it feels like rest. You are learning to walk in alignment. And it moves like favor. This is the life you were always meant to live. Receiving freely, creating boldly, and walking in fullness. Chosen one. Every time you looked at your bank account and felt fear, every moment you wondered if you'd ever break free from the cycle of lack. All of that is being reversed right now. What you feel in your spirit is real. The invisible hands of heaven are lifting you. The grace of God is carrying you. The same hand that set the stars in the sky is now funding your journey. You are no longer living on borrowed resources or borrowed time. You are being resourced by eternity itself. That means no more compromises. You are not forced to accept crumbs just to get by. You are not settling for less than what has already been promised to you. The financial favor coming into your life is not just relief. It is strategy. It is God saying, I am giving you what you need to build, to lead, to create, to give. Your purpose is too powerful to be delayed by debt or choked by fear. Chosen one. It is time to release the old thinking, that mindset of survival, of holding back, of shrinking so others can feel comfortable, that no longer serves you. That was training for the wilderness. But you are stepping into Canaan. You are not in survival anymore. You are in flow. You are in favor. You are in abundance. And as this divine funding pours in, you will see shifts in every area of your life. Your relationships will change because you will no longer connect from fear, but from confidence. Your thoughts will change because your mind will be anchored in peace. Even your body will feel lighter because when the spirit is free from worry, everything else comes into alignment. People will notice something different about you. They won't be able to explain it, but they will sense it. Your presence will carry a weight and authority and aura that cannot be explained by logic. Some may even feel intimidated, confused, or envious. But you are not here to convince anyone to understand. You are here to walk boldly in what God has released. Contracts will arrive in your hands without you begging. Opportunities will open where you once faced rejection. And when you show up this time, you won't show up desperate. You'll show up knowing you are fully backed by heaven. That is what it means to be chosen. Expect the unexpected. Expect miracles to become your new normal. Expect divine deposits in your accounts, in your heart, and in your mind. Expect solutions you didn't plan for, and invitations you once only dreamed of. Chosen one, you are entering far more than a season of fresh blessings. You are stepping into the fullness of a renewed identity. Your life is becoming a testimony of what it means to be sustained by the hand of God. Listen carefully, because what is unfolding before you is greater than a breakthrough. This is a complete transformation. Provision is only one part of the story. As heaven releases resources into your life, it is also reshaping your character, strengthening your heart, and establishing you in the identity you were always created to carry. You are becoming the person who no longer responds to every challenge with fear, because you trust that heaven has already set the answer in motion. You are becoming someone who speaks with unwavering confidence instead of uncertainty, because you have experienced the faithfulness of divine provision. You are becoming a source of wisdom and stability, someone whose peace encourages others to keep believing. That is the true mark of the chosen. It is never measured by possessions, but by the person you become as you remain aligned with God's purpose. Chosen one, recognize what is happening. As you move forward, new opportunities unfold before you. As you obey, the provision follows. While you rest in faith, God continues working on your behalf. The burden you carried for so many years, the constant pressure you believed belonged to you alone, is finally being lifted. The voice that insisted everything depends on you is losing its power because it was never speaking the truth. You were never designed to carry life by your own strength. You were created to walk in partnership with heaven's endless supply. This is not wishful thinking. It is living faith becoming visible. You cannot purchase this blessing, nor could you ever deserve it through effort alone. It is the harvest of your obedience and the evidence of your faithful walk with God. You remained steadfast when the journey became difficult. You continued trusting even when there was nothing visible to support your hope. You refused to abandon your convictions simply to gain acceptance from the world. Because of that unwavering faith, doors are opening that you never could have imagined, and blessings once hidden are now being released into your life from places only God could prepare. Your outer world is shifting, but your inner world is changing. 2. You are no longer motivated by lack, fear, or comparison. You are moving from a place of security, knowing you are protected, resourced, and loved by a power greater than any system on earth. The true currency of your life is divine favor, and the return on your faith is multiplying beyond measure. Chosen one, this season will stretch you into bold decisions. You will say yes to opportunities that once terrified you. You will walk away from situations that once held you back, not out of arrogance, but out of clarity. Because when you are funded by God, you are no longer for sale. You can't be manipulated by scarcity. You won't shrink to fit anyone's expectations. You will stand tall because you know your worth is already established in heaven. Let this sink in. You are covered, supported, and funded. From this day forward, your needs are not your problem. They are God's promise. You are not a warrior. You are a receiver of supernatural resources, a receiver of divine wisdom, a receiver of holy rest. The striving ends here. The panic no longer fits who you are becoming. The weight that tried to crush you was really preparing you to carry blessing with boldness. Now you can hold it. Now you can manage it. Now you can walk into everything that is unfolding with strength, clarity, and confidence. Chosen one. This is your funded life, and this is only the beginning. Chosen one. Let me remind you, your entire life is about to testify. Every detail, every corner, every hidden place is about to reflect the hand of God funding you. This is not about one answered prayer or one sudden breakthrough. This is a complete reordering of how you experience provision, security, and peace. Your inbox will carry evidence, unexpected opportunities, approvals you thought were long forgotten. Your home will carry evidence, debts dissolving, responsibilities handled with ease. Your health will carry evidence, peace in your body where stress once ruled. Even your joy will carry evidence because the heaviness of worry has been lifted. You are entering into alignment where every part of your life becomes a living testimony of divine support. Chosen one. Understand, you were not chosen just to survive. You were not called to scrape by and hope for small mercies. You were called to rise, to lead, to demonstrate to the world what it looks like to be fully backed by the Creator of heaven and earth. The funding being released into your life is not ordinary provision. It is strategy. It is wisdom. It is clarity. It is the divine blueprint showing up right on time to activate the next phase of your journey. And yes, some people will fall away as this shift happens. When divine funding enters your life, it exposes who was only present during your lack. That is not punishment. It is purification. Not everyone can walk with you into this next level. Not everyone is meant to handle the weight of your increase. But hear me clearly. You are not losing. You are being refined. God is protecting what He's placing in your hands because this wealth, this favor, this overflow, it's not just for you. It is entrusted to you. You are not simply a receiver. You are a steward. You are trusted with increase because your heart is anchored in something greater than money. Money does not define you. It follows you. It serves your assignment. It aligns itself to your obedience. Chosen one. You no longer have to chase resources. When you walk in obedience, resources chase you. When you step in faith, doors open before you knock. When you declare boldly, provision responds like a magnet. The frequency of your faith calls forth what you need. This is why you are not operating from fear anymore. You are flowing from favor, and this favor cannot be earned. It is not a paycheck for performance. It is a reward for faithfulness. It shows up after the silent seasons when you kept believing. It surrounds you like a shield when doubt tries to creep in. It whispers, "You are right on time. You are not behind. You are not late. You are aligned with heaven's release." Chosen one. The only thing required of you now is trust. To open your hands and let go of the belief that it's all up to you. It never was. You are being invited to rest in the current of provision, to walk with the assurance that what you need is already on its way. You are being taught a new language, the language of trust. And it feels like peace. It moves like grace. It looks like favor unfolding step by step. Chosen one. Now is the time to move differently. You are not the same person who once questioned every step, paralyzed by fear of not having enough. You are walking into a season where your first response is no longer worry, but faith. Instead of asking, "How will I afford this?" you will declare, "It is already covered." That is the difference between survival and overflow. Heaven has shifted you out of survival mode and into divine alignment. You've been extracted from cycles that held you back. You've been positioned for abundance. This new reality you are living in is not fragile. It is sustained by God's hand. Think of it like a divine account with your name on it, filled with resources, ideas, and opportunities. Every time you choose faith over fear, it's like making a withdrawal from what is already yours. And the best part, this account never runs dry. Chosen one. What's fueling your next chapter is not luck or chance. It is heaven-backed, purpose-driven, and eternally authorized. That means no circumstance, no enemy, not even your past mistakes can block what's coming. Let that truth sink in. You can finally breathe again. You can finally rest. You don't have to carry the burden of figuring it all out alone. The stress that once kept you up at night is lifting. The weight that tried to crush your spirit is being removed. Divine help is here. This shift is permanent. It's a holy reroute that aligns your steps with supernatural supply. From this moment forward, you are walking under a covering that cannot be shaken. You're stepping into a rhythm where your needs are not just met, they are exceeded. This is what it means to live funded by heaven. Chosen one. Notice the signs. Every moment you doubted yourself, every time you looked at your resources and thought they were too small, those fears are being replaced with evidence. You will begin to see it in small ways. First, bills paid on time, unexpected discounts, new opportunities opening without struggle. And as you remain aligned, the flow will increase. Bigger contracts, strategic connections, sudden breakthroughs. These are not random. They are heaven's confirmation that you are in the right place at the right time. You may have imagined that your prayers were delayed, but in truth, they were building momentum. The release is now. The invisible is becoming visible, and you will know it's God, because it will bypass logic. What should have taken years will happen in months. What seemed impossible will come to pass with ease. Chosen one. Prepare yourself. This funding is not just about your comfort, it's about your calling. It is about building what others will benefit from. It's about opening doors for those who come after you. It's about breaking patterns that held your family line and stepping into a legacy of abundance. God is trusting you with more because you have shown faithfulness with little. So, rise up, lift your head, speak with courage, walk with confidence. The days of worry are over. The days of divine ease are here. You are no longer begging for blessings. You are living in them. No more scarcity, no more fear, no more hesitation. You are walking fully in the reality of a funded life. Chosen one. Hear it again. This is not a season of scraping by. This is a season of supernatural abundance, and you are right on time for the release. Chosen one. As we move into this final part, let me seal this word in your spirit. You are no longer living from paycheck to paycheck, prayer to prayer, hope to hope, waiting for something to change. You are walking into funded overflow. What once felt like a dream is becoming your everyday reality. Piece by piece, moment by moment, God is building a new infrastructure around your life, an infrastructure of abundance, peace, and purpose. You are surrounded now, surrounded by provision, surrounded by protection, surrounded by purpose. There is a sacred wind at your back, carrying you further than your strength could ever take you. This is not just about bills being paid or needs being met. This is about boldness. God is funding your courage. He is giving you strength to speak truth, to set boundaries, to walk in authority. The sphere of not having enough is dissolving, and with it, your true identity is rising. Chosen one, you are a force. You are a presence. You are a living demonstration of what it means to be sustained by heaven. Everything around you is beginning to respond to this new energy. Where there was resistance, there will now be ease. Where there was delay, there will now be acceleration. Where you were once dismissed, you will now be recognized. Not because of pride, but because you finally understand your value. You don't have to defend your abundance. You don't have to explain your blessing. Divine funding doesn't come with apology. It comes with assignment. Your wealth, your peace, your freedom. They are not just for you. They are designed to overflow, to touch others, to open doors that were shut. You are resourced because your life carries impact far beyond yourself. Every step you take now will be followed by provision. You won't run out. You won't fall short. You won't collapse under pressure. The source that fuels you is eternal and unshakable. This is a new financial frequency. You've disconnected from scarcity and tuned into the rhythms of heaven. You are vibrating at the level of abundance, and anything that doesn't align will naturally fall away. Chosen one, don't mourn what leaves. It's not rejection. It's alignment. Old conversations, old environments, old fears, and even old versions of yourself are being shed. This is part of your upgrade. You're not surviving anymore. You're thriving. You're not barely making it. You are walking boldly in destiny. The version of you that is emerging now is bolder, visa, freer. And this version is being fully funded because the impact you're about to make requires both spiritual and financial overflow. You will not just receive money, you will receive profitable ideas, divine strategies, and vision that builds legacies. This is the realm where miracles are normal, where impossibilities dissolve, where what took others years will manifest for you in moments. You'll find yourself in rooms you once only dreamed of. You'll receive invitations you never thought possible. And you will realize none of it was random. It has always been part of God's plan for your life. Chosen one, your season of waiting has reached its conclusion. The days of constant anxiety are behind you. You have entered the season where heaven provides everything you need. Receive this truth with confidence. Live it with boldness. And never lose sight of who you are. You are chosen by God, surrounded by His protection, and sustained by His limitless provision. Chosen one, let these final words settle deeply within your heart. You will not leave this moment unchanged. Heaven has announced the end of your season of uncertainty. You are stepping into a divine order where provision follows purpose, where favor, opportunity, and increase are drawn toward your life because you are walking in obedience to God's will. This is not a promise reserved for the future. It has already begun. You have arrived at your Kairos moment, the appointed time established by heaven. Beloved, what once drained your strength is becoming a source of increase. Scarcity is giving way to abundance. Fear is surrendering to faith. And the things you spent years pursuing will begin finding their way to you. The answers you cried out for in prayer are beginning to unfold before your eyes. This is not luck or coincidence. It is heaven confirming that its promises never fail. A supernatural shift has already been set in motion, positioning your life for greater abundance, deeper purpose, and lasting peace. Chosen one, move forward with confidence. Lift your eyes and carry the presence of God wherever you go. You have become a vessel through which His provision flows. A living witness that heaven faithfully supplies every assignment it gives. Continue walking in faith. Remain fully aligned with His purpose. Keep your heart filled with gratitude, because God's blessings are unfolding day by day, and nothing can cancel what He has already established. If this message has spoken to your spirit, declare your agreement in the comments as an act of faith. Share these words with someone who also needs encouragement to step into God's divine provision. And remember to subscribe so you can continue receiving these prophetic messages of hope and encouragement. Go forward, chosen one, with complete confidence that you are protected, sustained, and abundantly supplied by the mighty hand of the Almighty. Chosen one, listen with your spirit. Your presence here is not the result of coincidence. You were not led to these words by accident. Heaven has intentionally guided your steps, bringing you into this moment according to God's perfect timing. You are here because the divine timetable has reached your appointed season. You are standing at the entrance of a supernatural financial shift, a heavenly transfer of provision that cannot be explained by human reasoning, but only by the power and faithfulness of God. Chosen one, the law of assumption is more than an idea. It is a spiritual principle rooted in Scripture. As Proverbs 2:3-7 reminds us, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. What you embrace in faith, what you accept with unwavering confidence, begins to shape the direction of your life. Today, heaven is speaking over you with authority. You are no longer chasing abundance. You have been brought into alignment with God's provision. Let this be your confirmation. The season of lack has come to an end. The days of barely getting by are passing away. You are entering a season marked by overflowing provision, unexpected favor, and opportunities that only God can open. Chosen one, strengthen your faith, because this is your appointed moment. The life of increase you have been praying for is no longer distant. It is unfolding before you now. It has already been established in heaven. Chosen one, receive these words with expectation. This is not merely another encouraging message. It is a prophetic reminder that what is firmly settled within your spirit through faith will, in God's perfect time, become visible in your life. This is not empty imagination or positive thinking alone. It is a spiritual reality woven into the way God calls His people to believe. The law of assumption is about bringing your heart into complete agreement with what heaven has already spoken over you. In this very moment, you are being positioned to walk in greater provision, lasting freedom, and the supernatural breakthrough that God has prepared for your life. You did not stumble here by mistake. Something in your spirit pulled you to this moment. This is a divine appointment, perfectly timed and carefully orchestrated. Right now, you are standing at the edge of a millionaire reality, a reality that has been tugging at your heart and whispering through your prayers. This video is not simply information. It is an atmosphere. It is here to soak your thoughts, your words, and your beliefs until every part of your being begins to declare the truth. You are chosen. You are favored. You are already walking in abundance. I know how it feels to wonder if the promise will ever arrive. I know the weight of bills stacked higher than hope, and the frustration of praying in silence when nothing seems to change. But I have also experienced heaven stepping in with provisions so precise, so timely, that I knew it could only be divine. That is why I can say with certainty, the same God who came through for me is coming through for you. Chosen one, your story is shifting. The reason this word has appeared in your life now is because you are ready, you are prepared to receive a mantle of wealth that carries more than money. It carries responsibility, stewardship, and legacy. Heaven is not just funding your dreams. Heaven is positioning you to fund the dreams of others. Remember what the word declares. All things work together for the good of those who love him and are called according to his purpose. You are that called one. Pause here and reflect. This is your journey. Not everyone will understand it, and not everyone is meant to walk with you into it. Some will dismiss the vision. Some may even mock the idea, but you must stay anchored, because your transformation depends on your ability to keep believing even when others cannot see what you carry. If this word is stirring you, mark this moment in faith. Leave 77 tons in the comments, not as superstition, but as a declaration of agreement. Like this message. Subscribe so that you remain aligned with future revelation. And replay this word until it saturates every hidden place in your heart. The more you engage, the more you embody, the faster the reality will materialize. Here is the revelation. You are already a millionaire, not one day in the future, not after years of waiting. Right now, the divine does not bend to man's timelines. Heaven responds to faith, to alignment, and to assumption. And today, heaven is responding to you. Chosen one, declare it boldly, I am a millionaire. It is done. Carry that truth into every room, every decision, every thought, and watch as heaven confirms what you have already embraced. Chosen one, now that you have declared with boldness that you are already a millionaire, the next step is to embody that reality. To embody means more than to speak. It means to live, to breathe, to walk in the posture of the promise. Many can say the words, I am wealthy, but only a few allow those words to shape their decisions, their habits, and their outlook on life. To truly manifest this divine transfer, you must not only proclaim it, you must live as though it is already here. Think of it this way. When a seed is planted in the ground, the farmer waters it and protects it, not because he sees the fruit immediately, but because he knows the harvest is already secured. He doesn't doubt whether the seed will grow. He trusts the process. In the same way, you must begin to water the identity of wealth that has been spoken over you. Walk with the confidence of someone who already carries abundance. Move as though every step is guided by heaven toward increase. Chosen one, I know what it feels like to live under the shadow of doubt. I know how fear whispers. What if it doesn't happen? What if you fail? What if the dream collapses? Those voices are the residue of your old reality. But hear me, millionaire. The anointed ones who walk in supernatural flow do not live by fear. They live by certainty. They carry themselves with assurance, not because they see every detail, but because they know the source of their provision is unshakable. From this moment forward, you must let go of the thoughts that pull you into lack. Stop entertaining the idea that you are still waiting. Stop replaying old stories that tell you abundance is for others, but not for you. Those patterns are like chains, and today those chains break. Instead, align every thought with your new reality. Ask yourself daily, what would the millionaire version of me choose? How would the anointed version of me respond when you think from that place? When you act from that identity, heaven rushes to confirm it. And do not forget your emotions. Chosen one. They are not small things. Emotions are signals, broadcasting your vibration into the unseen. When you live in worry, when you stew in anxiety, your energy lowers and you disconnect from the frequency of abundance. But when you live in gratitude, in joy, in expectancy, you magnetize heaven's supply. Gratitude, especially, is a supernatural accelerator. When you thank God for the little you see today, He releases more tomorrow. Gratitude proves that your heart is ready to steward wealth with reverence. I encourage you to envision it daily. Close your eyes and picture yourself walking in financial freedom. See the peace on your face, the joy in your steps, the generosity flowing from your hands. Imagine the new environments you will enter, the doors that will open, the people you will bless. As you see it, your spirit begins to believe it. As you believe it, your energy begins to attract it. But hear me, embodying the millionaire mindset is not a one-time choice. It is a daily commitment. Each morning, you must rise and remind yourself, I am already wealthy. It is already done. Each evening, you must let that truth guard your rest. Abundance is flowing toward me even while I sleep. The repetition will transform your subconscious until wealth becomes your natural state of being. Chosen one. Live today as the person you are already becoming. The mindset is the soil, and your faith is the seed. Water it with gratitude. Guard it with confidence. And watch as the harvest of wealth begins to manifest in your reality. Chosen one. As you step into your millionaire identity, there is one vital step you cannot skip: releasing the limiting beliefs that have chained you to lack. These beliefs are subtle, yet powerful. They hide in the background of your mind, whispering lies like, I can't be wealthy, or money is too hard to come by. They are like invisible bars in a cage, keeping you from walking into the freedom that already belongs to you. But hear me. These beliefs are not absolute truths. They are stories, and stories can be rewritten. Some of these stories were planted in childhood. Maybe you grew up in a home where money was always scarce, and you absorbed the idea that financial security is nearly impossible. Perhaps society told you that only a select few ever experience abundance. Maybe past failures convinced you that you are not capable or worthy. Chosen one. None of these are heaven's verdict over your life. They are illusions. And today you are breaking free. The first step is awareness. Begin to notice how you feel when you think about wealth. Does your stomach tighten? Do old fears rise up? Do you hear an inner voice saying, that's not for you? That voice is not your truth. It is your limitation. Awareness exposes the lie, so you can dismantle it. The second step is to challenge the lie. When the thought says, you'll never be wealthy, pause and ask, who said so? Is it your creator? No. Heaven has already declared that abundance is your inheritance. The lie may feel real because it has echoed in your head for years, but a lie repeated is still a lie. The truth is this: you are chosen, and chosen ones are called to overflow. The third step is replacement. You cannot simply remove a belief. You must plant a stronger one in its place. When the lie says, money is hard to come by, replace it with, wealth flows to me with ease. When the lie says, I am not worthy of abundance, declare, I am worthy because I am chosen. Speak it daily until your subconscious accepts it as your new reality. This is not empty affirmation. It is spiritual reprogramming. Chosen one. I've lived this. I remember the days when fear kept me from dreaming big. I believed that abundance was for other people, not for me. But as I began to declare new truths, I am wealthy, I am favored, I am chosen, something shifted inside me. Doors opened, provision came, and I realized the truth had been waiting for me to agree with it all along. That same shift is waiting for you. Visualize the version of yourself who is already free from limitation. See yourself walking boldly, expecting doors to open. Feel the peace of knowing wealth is not a struggle, but a natural state. As you hold this vision, your mind rewires itself, and your spirit rises into alignment with abundance. Chosen one. Remember, your beliefs are the architects of your reality. If you cling to lack, you will live in lack. But if you align with abundance, your world will reflect abundance. Release the old chains, replace them with truth, and step boldly into your identity. The cage door is open. It is time to walk free. Chosen one. Now that you have declared your identity and broken free from limiting beliefs, the next step is to align yourself with the energy of wealth. This is more than positive thinking. It is spiritual positioning. Everything in this universe, including money, carries vibration. Wealth has its own frequency. When your thoughts, emotions, and actions resonate with that frequency, abundance flows toward you as naturally as rivers run to the sea. The truth is, many people unknowingly live in the vibration of lack. They say things like, "I don't have enough," or "It's too hard." These words are not harmless. They send signals into the unseen, reinforcing delay and struggle. But when you shift your language and begin to say, "I have more than enough," wealth flows to me with ease. You lift your frequency and call abundance into your life. Chosen one. Your thoughts are seeds. Every thought carries energy, and those seeds grow into experiences. If you continue to think from scarcity, you will continue to live in scarcity. But if you think from abundance, you will live in abundance. Begin catching your old thoughts the moment they arise. When fear says, "There isn't enough," answer back with, "I live in overflow." When doubt says, "This will never happen," respond, "It is already done." Heaven responds to the voice of faith. Your emotions also matter deeply. Think of emotions as magnets. Worry and fear lower your vibration, pushing away the very blessings you long for. Gratitude and joy, however, pull blessings toward you. Gratitude is one of heaven's most powerful accelerators. When you give thanks for what you already have, even if it seems small, you prove to heaven that your heart can handle more. Gratitude multiplie provision. That's why Jesus gave thanks before the loaves multiplied. Thanksgiving activates increase. Chosen one. I encourage you to cultivate a daily practice of gratitude. Each morning, speak out 3 things you are thankful for, even if they seem ordinary. The breath in your lungs, the roof over your head, the chance to begin again. As you do, your heart will swell with joy, and that joy will draw abundance toward you. You cannot be overlooked when you radiate gratitude. But alignment is not only about thoughts and emotions, it is about action. Your choices must agree with the reality you claim. Ask yourself, what would the millionaire version of me do? Would that version manage money with respect? Would they invest boldly in growth and opportunity? Would they avoid fear-driven decisions? Every action is a vote for the future you are creating. Even how you handle the little you have now sends a message to heaven. If you treat your current resources with gratitude and care, you prove that you can steward more. If you waste or neglect them, you broadcast that you are not yet ready. Start small. Budget with wisdom. Give generously. And invest in yourself. These choices carry prophetic weight. Chosen one. Alignment is living as though your promise has already arrived. It is walking, speaking, and deciding from the frequency of abundance as you do this daily. Heaven mirrors it back to you in tangible ways. Open doors, divine connections, unexpected provision. Keep your vibration high and watch wealth flow into your life like a river without end. Chosen one. One of the greatest challenges in your journey to abundance is learning to trust the process. The moment you declare, "I am a millionaire," it is done. Heaven begins to move, but the unfolding rarely looks like the picture in your mind. There will be delays, detours, and unexpected turns. If you are not careful, doubt will creep in and whisper, "It's not working. Nothing is happening." But hear me. Heaven is never late. The divine clock is always on time. Your responsibility is not to control the how or the when. That part belongs to God. Your assignment is to believe, to align, and to stay faithful. The details, the timing, the open doors, those are orchestrated from above. Trusting the process means you release the pressure to figure everything out. You don't need to manipulate outcomes or force opportunities. You simply need to rest in the knowing that heaven has already finished what you are just beginning to see. I know what it feels like to wrestle with impatience. I have prayed for answers and felt silence stretch longer than expected. I have wondered if heaven had forgotten my name. Yet every time provision came, not in my way, not in my timing, but in ways far better than I could have imagined. That is the testimony I carry, and it is the promise I extend to you. What feels like delay is often divine redirection. What looks like silence is often heaven rearranging circumstances on your behalf. Chosen one. Doubt is one of the greatest thieves of manifestation. Even the smallest sliver of unbelief creates resistance. It's like static on a frequency, disrupting the signal. On one hand, you're declaring wealth. But, on the other hand, you're secretly questioning if it will happen. This double-mindedness slows everything down. But when you release doubt and fully embrace the truth that it is already done, the resistance lifts and the flow accelerates. Trust is not weakness, it is power. When you trust the process, you declare that you believe heaven is wiser than your plans. You demonstrate that you know abundance is not earned by anxiety, but received by faith. Each time you choose trust over fear, you release a powerful signal to the universe. I am ready. I am aligned. I believe, and heaven responds to that faith with movement, aligning opportunities, people, and resources to carry you forward. Think of it this way. The path to wealth is rarely a straight line. Sometimes you will face detours that seem to delay the journey, but those detours may bring you into contact with the very connections you will need later. Sometimes you will feel doors close abruptly, but those closed doors are often heaven's way of protecting you from something smaller than what was intended for you. Every step of your journey, even those that appeared to be disappointments, has been preparing you to receive everything God has promised. Chosen one. Release the pressure of trying to understand every detail. Find peace in knowing that the life you have been believing for is already taking shape according to heaven's plan, even when nothing seems to be changing before your eyes. Trust that God is working beyond what you can see. He is arranging the right relationships, opening the right doors, and orchestrating the perfect timing. Your responsibility is to remain faithful. Respond when He leads you, and never let go of the promise He has placed in your heart. Remain confident in the process. Anointed one. Heaven has already set it in motion. Chosen one. One of the greatest ways to cooperate with God's provision is to begin living from the place of faith instead of fear. Living as if is not about pretending to be someone you are not. It is about bringing your daily choices into agreement with what God has already spoken over your life. When your actions reflect confidence in His promises, your life begins to mirror the abundance He has prepared for you. Faith expressed through obedience creates room for heaven's provision to become visible. Consider a bride who has accepted a marriage proposal. She does not wait until the wedding day to embrace the joy of her new future. From the moment she says yes, her attitude, her preparation, and her decisions begin reflecting the life she knows is coming. Chosen one. The moment you embraced God's vision for your future, your destiny was set into motion. Now is the time to live in harmony with that calling. Ask yourself each day, how would the person God is preparing me to become respond in this moment? Would that person retreat in fear, or move forward with courage when new opportunities appear? Would that person cling tightly to every resource out of anxiety, or manage God's blessings with wisdom, gratitude, and generosity? Would that person continue speaking words shaped by limitation, or confidently declare the promises of life, increase, and divine provision over every circumstance? The answers to those questions are your blueprint. I know this path personally. There were seasons when my external reality did not look like wealth. Yet I began to carry myself with dignity and order. I dressed as though I valued myself. I organized my space as though abundance belonged there. I spoke with confidence, even when I felt nervous inside. And little by little, my external reality began to rise to the level of my internal assumption, acting as if trained my spirit, my mind, and even my circumstances to align with abundance. Chosen one. Your environment matters. If your surroundings constantly reflect chaos and lack, your spirit will absorb that energy. Begin to shape your environment to mirror the life you are stepping into. This does not mean reckless spending or pretending to have what you don't. It means creating order, beauty, and gratitude. Where you are right now, organize your space. Upgrade small things that remind you of excellence. Speak over your home. This is the dwelling place of abundance. Every change you make, no matter how small, is a declaration that you are already aligned. Your language also carries prophetic weight. Stop saying, "I can't afford this," or "I'm broke." Those words contradict your identity. Instead, say, "I choose to invest in what aligns with my abundance," or "I am stewarding my wealth wisely." Words are not casual. They are seeds, and they always bear fruit. Speak only what you want to see. And above all, embody generosity. Wealth in the kingdom is not about hoarding, but about flow. When you give, even from a small place, you declare that you trust heaven as your source. Acting as if means giving with the confidence that more is always coming. This posture unlocks doors no calculation can open. Chosen one. Acting as if is faith in motion. It is living today as though the promise is already visible. When you align your habits, your environment, your words, and your generosity with your millionaire identity, you magnetize the reality that is already written. Walk boldly. The crown is already on your head, even if others can't see it yet. Chosen one. Declaring your millionaire identity and acting as if are powerful steps. But the true test comes in staying aligned. Manifestation is not a one-time event. It is a continual process of agreement with heaven. Many begin the journey strong, but when external circumstances challenge them, they slip back into doubt. That will not be your story. You have been chosen to remain steadfast until the promise fully manifests. Staying in alignment means holding your vibration of wealth. Regardless of what appears around you, bills may come, unexpected expenses may rise. People may question your decisions or mock your faith. Yet, even in the storm, you must declare, I am abundant. I am already wealthy. Nothing can shake what heaven has written. Alignment is not about ignoring reality. It is about refusing to let temporary conditions rewrite eternal truth. Think of a compass. No matter how many times it is shaken, the needle eventually settles back to true north. Your true north is abundance. Every distraction, every trial, every delay is simply a shaking. But if you remain faithful, your spirit will always realign with the frequency of wealth. This is why consistency is critical. Daily affirmations, constant gratitude, and unwavering trust are your anchors. Chosen one. Gratitude is the oxygen of alignment. Each day, take time to thank God for what you already see. Thank Him for the roof over your head, the food on your table, the opportunities unfolding. Gratitude not only lifts your vibration, it sharpens your vision. When you appreciate what you have, you begin to see the hidden abundance around you. And heaven responds to gratitude with multiplication. Trust is equally essential. Staying in alignment means you believe that even when you cannot see the full picture, heaven is still working in your favor. Delays are not denials. Closed doors are divine redirections. What looks like loss may actually be positioning for greater gain. Trust says, even if I cannot see it yet, I know it is already done. That level of faith keeps your energy aligned with abundance. No matter what unfolds, I have lived this truth. There were times when my situation looked unchanged, yet I chose to stay aligned. I spoke abundance when I felt lack. I praised when I had questions. I gave thanks when I had only little. And slowly, quietly, powerfully, the breakthrough came. The shift was undeniable. Chosen one. The same will happen for you as long as you remain aligned. Lastly, alignment requires focus. Keep your eyes on the vision, not the distractions. Old patterns will try to pull you back. Negative voices may rise against you, but you are chosen to stay steady. Replay this word. Soak in its energy. Let it strengthen your spirit. The more you repeat, the stronger your alignment becomes, and the faster your external world mirrors your internal conviction. Chosen one. Staying in alignment is the bridge between declaration and manifestation. Hold fast. Keep your vibration high. Keep gratitude on your lips. And trust in your heart. The promise is already yours. It is only a matter of time before it fully appears. Chosen one. As we arrive at the culmination of this journey, remember that this process has never been only about becoming a millionaire. It has been about discovering who you truly are in the eyes of heaven. Wealth is not just measured in numbers, but in identity, purpose, and legacy. When you step into abundance, you are stepping into alignment with your divine assignment. Your millionaire reality is not coming someday. It is here. The fact that you are still watching, still receiving, still breathing in every word is proof that your spirit is ready. The universe, the kingdom, heaven itself has already written this chapter with your name on it. The abundance waiting for you is not random. It has been prepared. You are not chasing wealth. Wealth is chasing you because you are chosen to steward it for a greater good. Chosen one. Take this personally. Your presence on this earth is strategic. The finances flowing into your life are not only for your comfort, but for your calling. You will fund visions, bless families, and build legacies. Your testimony will inspire others to believe that what seemed impossible can become reality. You are not only stepping into abundance, you are becoming a living example of heaven's ability to transform a life. I know what it feels like to carry a promise and wonder when it will finally appear. I've known the tension of waiting and the temptation to give up, but every time I held on, every time I refused to let go of alignment, heaven proved faithful. Chosen one. The same God who lifted me will lift you. The same hand that opened doors for me will open doors for you. What you thought was out of reach will suddenly feel inevitable because it has always been written. Your responsibility now is to keep living in the vibration of abundance. Keep declaring, I am a millionaire. It is done. Keep acting as if. Keep aligning your thoughts, motion, and actions with overflow. This consistency will carry you from promise to fulfillment. Do not be swayed by temporary appearances. Do not be distracted by delays. Remember, delays are only setups for greater demonstrations of glory. Chosen one. Wealth is not the end. It is the beginning of new assignments. You are being entrusted with influence, with resources, and with opportunities to impact lives. Carry this mantle with humility and strength. Walk in boldness, knowing the crown fits your head because heaven placed it there. Live generously because true abundance multiplies when it flows. So, as this word closes, rise with a new conviction. Walk into every room as though it already belongs to you. Make decisions as though heaven has already funded them. Walk each day with a thankful heart, as though every prayer has already been answered. Because the truth is this, chosen one, the life of abundance God has prepared for you is no longer distant. It is no longer a dream to chase, a hope to cling to, or a promise waiting somewhere in the future. It is becoming your present reality. It is the inheritance assigned to you. It is part of the identity God is establishing within you. Embrace it. Walk confidently in it. And allow the world to witness what happens when one of God's chosen faithfully steps into the purpose heaven has prepared. Chosen one. As these final words settle into your heart, receive them with faith. You are no longer standing on the outside, waiting for provision to arrive. You are already walking within the season of God's abundance. The supernatural release has already begun. This is your Kairos moment, the appointed season ordained by heaven, Every detail has been carefully arranged to lead you into the fullness of what God has written over your life from the very beginning. You are not simply entering a season of increase. You are stepping into the identity you were created to carry. You are one of God's chosen, called to be a steward of provision, a builder of legacy, and a light of influence. The spirit of abundance has taken root within you. The favor of God rests upon your life, and no force on earth can overturn what He has established. Move forward with courage, because the doors that once remained closed are beginning to open before you. Chosen one, let gratitude fill your heart. Thank God for His faithfulness. Even when every promise has not yet become visible, a grateful heart keeps you connected to the flow of His divine purpose. Remain faithful through every season. Stand firm in your trust, knowing that the God who called you is also the one who will sustain you. Your path has been secured by His hand, and the inheritance He has prepared cannot be taken away. I speak this blessing over your life today. May His peace guard your heart. May His wisdom direct every decision you make, and may His provision overflow into every area of your life. Go forward with unwavering confidence, knowing that the abundant future God has promised is already unfolding, and nothing can cancel what He has ordained. If these words have confirmed what God is speaking to your spirit, respond in faith. Share this message. Speak His promises with confidence. Declare them over your life. Chosen one, the word has been released, and what heaven has established is already being fulfilled.